Into something that, wow, it's really gripped people for decades now. The whole mystery around Tupac Shakur. We've been looking into the source material you sent over, that book, Tupac Lives On, a comprehensive study of survival theories.
That's the one. And it really gets into the story of, well, an incredible artist whose life, officially anyway, ended tragically in Vegas back in 96. But, for a lot of folks, that story isn't quite finished.
Right. And our goal here, using this book as our guide, is to sort of unpack why. Why does this mystery hang around? Why do these theories about him maybe still being alive just keep going?
So the book starts with the official story, the baseline. Tupac was in Vegas, September 7th, 1996. He'd been at the Mike Tyson fight, got into that scuffle earlier at the MGM Grand.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Later that night, he's in the car with Suge Knight, driving down Flamingo Road, and bam, a drive-by shooting. He dies 6 days later, September 13th. That's the established timeline.
But okay, this is where the source says the doubts really creep in. It points out a whole bunch of, inconsistencies that fuel these theories. Things like how few credible witnesses actually came forward.
Right, and questions the book raises about the evidence collection. Was it delayed? Was it thorough enough right there on the Vegas Strip? And the lack of really clear surveillance footage is a big one.
You'd think there'd be more, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Plus, you've got these persistent claims about maybe a compromised police investigation, even whispers of a cover-up. And then there's Suge Knight, right? In the car, gets grazed, basically minor injuries. The book notes theorists really latch onto that.
Seems suspicious to them.
Very. And the source suggests these aren't just questions about the case anymore. They become the seeds for these survival theories. Like, the big one, the Machiavelli Code.
Ah, yes, Machiavelli. The book digs into this, right?
Right.
How he adopted that alias, referencing Niccolo Machiavelli.
Precisely. And Machiavelli, famously wrote about deception, faking death even as a tactic. So theorists, according to the source, they connect these dots. They look at his posthumous album, The 7-Day Theory.
Okay, yeah.
And they see clues everywhere. The title itself, 7-Day Theory, released so soon after his death. The cover art, that crucifixion imagery, certain lyrics some interpret as biblical nods to resurrection. Believers see it all as planned messages.
Hidden in plain sight kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah. And it's not just that album. The source talks about other cryptic messages. Think about Hail Mary lyrics about resurrection theorists focus on.
Or the I Am at a Job video, where he's depicted as a ghost ascending, and it came out after he died.
Exactly. Released just days later. Theorists look at that and see it as, almost proof. A deliberate signal.
Wild. And then there's the idea he just disappeared. The island retreat hypothesis.
The book explores that too. The idea he faked his death, slipped away somewhere quiet. Cuba comes up a lot.
Because of Assata Shakur being there? His relative?
That's part of the connection people make, yeah. She's living there in asylum. And the source mentions these alleged sightings that pop up, Cuba, other islands. They just keep fueling that particular theory.
And the internet must play a huge role now. The book covers the digital age.
Oh, absolutely. Even before social media blew up, you had online forums like alt.rap mentioned in the source, where these theories were debated constantly. Now, viral videos like that Tupac in Cuba one the book talks about, they spread like wildfire. It really blurs the line, speculation versus reality.
Still makes it harder to tell what's what. And Suge Knight, he must figure prominently in the theories discussed in the book.
You can't really avoid him. His presence, things he supposedly said over the years, cryptic statements, his whole complex relationship with Tupac, it's all central to a lot of the speculation. Was it a setup? Was he involved in faking the death? The questions keep coming back to him.
So, okay, we have all these theories, but why do they stick around? Especially with no concrete proof. The source gets into the psychology, right? The psychological underpinnings.
Yeah, and the cultural context. It talks about our human need for closure, especially when a death is tragic, violent, and ultimately unsolved. There's wishful thinking involved when you lose an icon.
Hero worship too, maybe.
Definitely. Tupac was this symbol of defiance, resilience for so many. The idea of him outsmarting death itself, it fits that image, doesn't it? The book kind of compares it to other figures who died young and mysteriously. Elvis, Jim Morrison. Society tends to mythologize them.
And the media plays a role, I imagine. Sensationalism.
For sure. The source notes how media coverage can amplify and perpetuate these myths over time.
So you've got the official story on one hand, and then this whole web of inconsistencies the source highlights, fueling these really persistent theories based on interpretation, clues, maybe wishful thinking. The book doesn't say he is alive, but it really shows why people believe he might be.
Exactly. It documents the why behind the belief. And look, regardless of whether you believe he physically survived or not, the source hammers home his legacy beyond life and death. That's undeniable.
Yeah, his impact is still huge. Social activism, music across genres, hip-hop culture, his voice is still incredibly present.
Absolutely. Still relevant, still debated.
So wrapping up this dive into the source material kind of leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What does this whole enduring myth around Tupac really tell us? Not just about him, but maybe about us, our relationship with legends, how we handle loss, and the kinds of stories we need, or maybe choose to believe.